Hello guys, so today let's talk about your favorite bloggers' body types part 2. You can watch part 1, I'm gonna leave the link down below. I have a huge Kibbe body types playlist, I'm gonna leave the link down below. There are tons of videos on how to find your signature style, and today we're gonna look at your favorite bloggers and we can see what style they're presenting and how we can be inspired by them. But little disclaimer, only David Kibbe knows 100% what Kibbe type this or that woman is. I can just guess it based on all this information that I've learned over the many years, but then you can disagree with me or agree in the comments down below. Under one of my posts, I asked you to write me names of your favorite bloggers and preferably their height. Without that detail, it's quite hard to tell. Many of them I couldn't find their height. So we're gonna work with what we see. Another thing you should know that pictures are angled and women are posing, sometimes have a lot of clothes on them. So with all this in mind, sometimes we can't see the real outline of their body unless she is wearing bikini or very tight clothes, sports clothes, and she's standing several steps away from the camera looking straight to the camera, and camera preferably should be at the chest level. Otherwise, if it's lower, we're gonna perceive her taller. If it's higher, we're gonna perceive her smaller, and it's not gonna show us real proportions. Of course, it's much easier to tell if I see her in front of me and I could actually check her body type. When it's on the pictures always an illusion. And also some women, they work on their pictures much more. They work on their poses much more than other bloggers. They work on their hair and makeup much more than other bloggers. Some bloggers, they are more natural. They go for more natural looks. So when they wake up, you can actually recognize her more or less. She's kind of showing you that lifestyle. So she doesn't do much. She just kind of makes herself a little bit more glowing, a little bit more ready for the day. And some bloggers, they're doing a lot of things to be in front of the camera. So sometimes it's harder to tell for these bloggers. Let's start. First, let's talk about Audrey Coyne. I love her channel for many years. I've learned so many things from her. I bought clothes inspired by her advices. I think in one of the videos she said that she's quite small, around 5'2" or something, maybe 5'1". I don't remember, so I'm sorry if it's wrong. She does look petite to me, but she is kind of vertical within this petiteness. She's not curvy for sure. She's slightly angular. She has elongated face, playful facial features, so in my viewpoint, she is flamboyant gamine. Also, all the outfits she's choosing, or almost all the outfits that I've seen, they are very much within flamboyant gamine range. Whether she's choosing certain lines, certain combinations, the way she builds the outfits, the way she chooses the colors and the patterns, everything is very much flamboyant gamine. I want you to notice that she is not going into very childish and crazy side of it. She's keeping herself very classic and classy, so she can be an amazing inspiration for everybody who wants to go for more classic style. Also, I think her style is very suitable for 90 years old or 19 years old women. It's very ageless. I have a huge recommend her channel for any body type actually, but especially gamines, flamboyant gamines, some soft gamines, classics, soft classics, dramatic classics. If you guys repeat some of her outfits, you will look amazing. I think she feels herself very well. I love the way she plays with color blocks. She definitely likes that narrow line. She almost never wears that baggy clothes, something too oversized, too elongated on top and then the bottom. If she's wearing something long on the bottom, she's definitely balancing it with something short on top, which is great. Higher colors, shorter pieces, boxy pieces, a lot of contrast, a lot of clean lines. All that is very much flamboyant gamine. So I hugely recommend her channel. Next one is Octavia B. I never seen her before. I didn't find her height, so I'm not sure how tall she is. She doesn't look extremely tall to me, maybe 5'6", 5'5". I don't see vertical line, at least on all the pictures that I've checked myself. To me, she definitely has a curve. She's very soft, and she definitely has width, especially width on top. You can see that shoulder area. Her armpits are a little bit wide. Sometimes we can notice curviness on someone when they are wearing something opposite. For example, when she's wearing that vest. Normally, vest is such a wardrobe piece that is quite stiff and straight in shape and outline. It's quite sharp, but of course this particular vest looks amazing on her because it looks like it's done for curvier women. But just in general, when we see that kind of a piece on curvy women, we can definitely notice the curves much more than if she would wear something more curvy, because then we would not see the contrast with her natural curves. So we would see her. So no width, no length, no curves, nothing would stand out. She has quite soft legs, quite soft knees. Can she be soft dramatic? in case she's tall. I'm not sure because I don't see sharp bones. I see more blunt bones, slightly squarish bones. So I think that she is a soft, natural body type. And if we talk about her style, it's modern, classic, a bit classy, a bit elegant, a bit casual at the same time, sometimes very feminine. Sometimes she uses less classic pieces, more bright colors, and I really recommend you, if you have similar body to hers, that can look great. Also, you can see how different kinds of clothes looks on women with this kind of curves, which is really helpful. Next one is Anouk Eve. I've seen her pictures a lot on Pinterest, and I actually showed a lot of examples of her on my channel, but I never knew who she was. So thank you so much for writing me about her. I love her very much. I found some information in Google that she is 5'11", so she's quite tall. So if we talk about tall women who definitely have that long vertical line, physically and visually, then there can be only 3 types: flamboyant natural, soft dramatic, or dramatic. I don't think she is soft dramatic. She's not curve dominant, she's definitely frame dominant. Now the question is if she's flamboyant natural or dramatic. I think she is flamboyant natural. She is looking amazing in oversized, elongated pieces. This is her elegance. She shines in that. So she can be an amazing inspiration for any flamboyant natural, especially for very tall flamboyant naturals, because the style she chooses is quite classic. She chooses classic colors, classic textures. She looks very expensive and very elegant. So her elegance is in that freedom that she chooses. It's not that flamboyant naturals don't look good in sleek pieces. They also look amazing in sleekness. It just depends on how you build the outfit itself. But they also look amazing with oversized and free pieces. This is the type they can definitely pull that off, and we can see an amazing example with Anouk. She has that beautiful balayaged hair, long and untidy, and normally this is what we need for flamboyant naturals. They normally shine with that. If she was a dramatic, she would look very untidy, not altogether, and definitely not expensive. This is the biggest difference between dramatics and flamboyant naturals. I actually think that she can pull off dramatic lines too. However, I would still go for something a little bit wider for her, just not extremely stiff and not too sharp. And actually in Metamorphosis book, that where David Kibbe talks about all these body types, he mentioned that flamboyant naturals can have quite dramatic faces, features of the faces. So she definitely has some sharpness in her face, but still her face consists of more squares, softened squares. And I just wanted to show you how beautiful she looks in that oversized things. So definitely a huge inspiration for any flamboyant natural who wants to go for that classic and timeless colors and outfits. So these outfits will work amazing many years from now. Next one, Shea Whitney. I think I've seen a couple of her videos, so her face is familiar to me. First videos that I've seen of her, I mostly seen her face, not that much of her body. So my first idea was that she was flamboyant natural, because in my viewpoint she has very flamboyant natural face. Then when I was preparing myself for this video, I had to check a lot of her pictures where I can see her head to toe, and I still think that she's flamboyant natural. I found information in Google that she is 5'5", which basically is not tall. David Kibbe says that automatical vertical line starts approximately at 5'6", but still there are those cases when a person can look quite tall, even if in numbers they're not as tall. Like Sarah Jessica Parker, she's 5'3", but she is flamboyant natural. She has this long vertical line within her body. So she has these long bones on her face. They are squarish, they're blunt. She has elongated nose, very opened, wide smile. That is another sign that it's more of a flamboyant natural. Dramatics normally have a little bit different smiles. They're kind of smaller sometimes, if I can say so. She definitely can pull off long vertical line clothes, oversized clothes, also oversized top, oversized bottom. This is another sign that this person is closer to flamboyant natural. She definitely can pull off longer top with longer bottom. This is another sign that she's closer to flamboyant natural. Also, when she's wearing something extremely sleek or small, we can see the angularity in the best sense of this word. So normally flamboyant naturals are very angular in the body shape. They are frame dominant. They have squarish shoulders. We can see long arms, long legs. All that is very pronounced here. She looks great with this long hair, quite natural makeup, bushy brows, long dresses. When they are wearing something sleek like this dress in the center, we can see their shoulder part is being quite wide as a contrast, which again, in the best sense of this word, she looks amazing in that. Also, I noticed that there are many pictures of her that was shot from above or at her eye level, not from the bottom. So even with with that angle, other people might look smaller, but she, even with that angle, looks quite tall, elongated, and she still looks good in all those free, long stuff. So this is another thing why I think she is flamboyant natural. Let me know, guys, what you think. I didn't watch her channel a lot, so I don't know what she's promoting, but I think she is showing different clothes from Amazon where you can get this or that stuff, and her style is not very classic, but it's more of a casual, sometimes more funky, sometimes more elegant, sometimes more sporty. Sometimes she's following her flamboyant natural lines, sometimes she doesn't. She definitely is choosing something that suits to her. She knows her body, she knows her colors, she loves to play with stuff. If you like her style, you can definitely follow her. Just if you are curvy, not everything might fit you. Also, if you are petite and curvy, or petite and straight, also not everything might fit you. So you just keep that in mind. And if you are more or less moderate in size and not very curvy, maybe you're a little bit curvy or straight, more muscular or more frame dominant or very thin, I think this style will suit you. Now, Kate Hutchins, I never seen her before. One of you guys asked me what her body type is. Very beautiful girl, and you know, it was very tricky for me. First thing that I could see that she is not very tall. Then I checked her height and it looks like she's 5'4". So definitely she is not tall. She doesn't have that long vertical line. So of course I don't think that she's dramatic, soft dramatic, or flamboyant natural. If we look at the outline of her body, she doesn't look curvy. She looks more straight. Her rib cage is not very wide. So she looks a little bit straightish in figure and a bit angular. She's got angular shoulders and angular structure overall. To be honest, if she had different face, I could even think she could be a flamboyant gamine. But looking at her face, I don't think she is. First of all, I think this hair looks great on her. This balayage, which is very soft, not very contrasted, looks great on her. Her face is soft and slightly squarish, and face is quite important too. So I think she is closer to soft natural. She has this angularity, a little bit of width, a bit squarishness of her bones in her body and in her face, and some softness and sensual features. She can pull off softer pieces, longer pieces, as well as shorter and a little bit closer to the body. Also, proportionately, her head is a little bit bigger than her body. And if we talk about her style, I think it's very feminine plus casual plus slightly sporty. She has quite big range of stuff that she is wearing. Everything is a little bit minimalistic, quite classy, modern, expensive looking, slightly sensual, but not overly sexy. I would recommend her style to a more thin-boned women. If you're wide and heavy, not every outfit would suit you well. Also, those dusty colors and beiges that she chooses for herself might not be good for everyone. It just depends on your coloration, but it looks stunning on her. In general, great style tips, and it just works on her. So yeah, I think she's soft natural body type, at least closest to soft natural from what I've seen. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. Next one is Renata Meins. I've never seen her before. One of you guys left her name under my post. She seems like quite famous. She has over 1 million subscribers on Instagram. Very beautiful woman. And you suggested that she might be soft dramatic. First of all, I didn't find anywhere her height. And it's tricky because she has small facial bones. So sometimes when a woman has small facial bones, on some pictures, they might look more delicate than they actually are. She has tiny nose. I don't know if it is a surgery or she was born with this nose. So this nose gives her that chiselness, delicacy, and extra glam for her face. Of course, her nose is a very important feature in her look. It really influences on the stuff that she is wearing, believe it or not. But at the same time, if we cover her nose, everything else is not as small and sharp. If we look at the pictures of her by herself, she doesn't look very small. It does look like she has some kind of a long vertical line. She is quite thin, but I cannot say that her bones are very sharp. Her bones are a bit thin, but looks like they're more blunt. Also in her looks, she likes to experiment with layering and bigger things, and also with sleek and very feminine things, and also with very sharp and dramatic lines. So basically the whole range. She makes it look very good on her. Now, to determine her height, I found a picture with other women. Whether there are loads of women on this picture that are quite small, I just don't know statistically if it's possible. I know she's wearing heels. Some women don't wear heels, but there are some women who do wear heels. So we can see that comparing to other women, she's a little bit on the taller side. I don't know, maybe she's 5'6". This is my guess. She doesn't seem extremely elongated to me, but she doesn't look small for me or moderate as well. So she's definitely slightly elongated. Or here we can see when she is with this more soft woman with more rounded face and a bit wider structure. So maybe this woman is soft natural. So we can see that Renata looks a little bit more elongated and chiseled with her. If we look at Renata's shoulder part, I can definitely see that it's a little bit on a wider side. She definitely has slim face, small facial bones, quite small and taut cheekbones, sharp chin. Maybe she's done some work. I'm just not familiar with that. She does look like she did something. I'm not sure what it is though. So if I just saw her face, I could even think that she can be theatrical romantic. They have these foxy kind of faces sometimes with small and delicate bones and quite sensual and glamorous at the same time. When I look at her face along with her body, I see it's different. She definitely is angular in her shoulder part, again in the best sense of this word. She has this strong line on her shoulders. She is not curve dominant for sure, so she can't be soft dramatic. Yes, she has sensual face, and maybe why some people think that she's soft dramatic, because we can compare her face to Sophia Loren, who also has this exotic facial features, sharp nose, large lips, beautiful almond-shaped eyes. Definitely, yeah. So I can see if Renata goes for that Sophia Loren makeup and even hair, she can look stunning. She's already doing something close. But if we look at her body and if we see how sleek dresses sit on her, especially on the top part of the body, on the torso, on the chest area, we can see that she's not curve dominant. I think she's more frame dominant. Now, if she is dramatic or flamboyant natural, she's not as sharp and angular for me as dramatic. When I look at her face, when I look at her overall vibe, I just don't see dramatic features. Especially when I see her without makeup. Dramatics have a little bit different vibe. So in my viewpoint, she's closer to flamboyant natural, or maybe she's soft natural in case she is small. But on the other hand, I think she looks great when her top and her bottom is elongated, which normally is not the case with soft naturals. Soft naturals look a little bit too meaty in that kind of combination, or they need something shorter or not as stiff. So in her case, I think she looks amazing in this kind of outfits. She looks great with this slightly free hair, quite flamboyant makeup. I think this makeup, it is quite glamorous actually, really suits to her face. She's very contrasted. Now look at Nicole Kidman. Yeah, she also has very similar situation where she is elongated looking. She has this slightly narrower rib cage, small nose, a little bit more classic face, but at the same time she is flamboyant natural. She was typed by Kibbe. So I would probably say she's flamboyant natural, but as far as she has some sharpness in her face too, and in some of the bones of her body, and her rib cage is on a narrower side, she can definitely pull off a little bit more chiseled, dramatic, and sharp lines in her outfits. She can really go for more narrow outline. So that is what I think for now. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think. In terms of style, she has very expensive direction, ladylike, and business lady kind of outfits. Looks like she has these expensive blazers and expensive pants, beautiful combinations of them, quite minimalistic at the same time. She really goes for that classic outfits. She never goes over the top. She doesn't go extremely sexy, and she does have quite sexy facial features, so it's very easy to make her look vulgar if you go a little bit too sexy with that. So there are some women who just already have that kind of a face. So her style is more over like a first lady style or modern princess kind of a style. Very high class, slightly luxury, nothing over the top. So definitely recommend if you're loving this upgraded style, more feminine or more business-like. Alright, that's it. I hope that was interesting. If you have someone in mind, if I didn't speak about this person yet, please write down her name and preferably her height if you know it. Maybe even her body type that you guess she is this type. And then we're gonna discuss it in one of my future videos. I think it's very, very interesting. Thank you. Bye-bye.